I'm sorry, sir. Excuse me. We are filming a documentary. We are YouTubers. Do you mind if I can ask you some questions, like in 2 minutes?
A documentary about?
About education, English, business, finance, entrepreneurship.
Okay,
It's
you're
gonna be
doing
real
it
quick.
for what? For your college or?
Yeah, for my channel, I am an influencer. I'm a content creator, and I make videos. It's a non-profit.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, thank you. So you're working here, right?
It's a business trip
So which industry are you putting your career in? Like,
in financial services.
as the majority of the individuals, like they don't have too much financial knowledge. So any useful suggestions you want to share with the people who want to improve their financial knowledge?
I think the important thing is common sense, really. Spend within your means and be careful about getting into debt. Of course, if you want to buy somewhere to live, probably you need to borrow money for that. Most people do. But be careful. Try to avoid borrowing money for any other purpose, because as a young person, really you should be trying to save money. Build up your savings, not build up your debt.
That's
Yeah.
really smart. Okay. The one more question is, like the majority of the people say the economy in 2024 is going down, right? And any strategies on finance that we can make to make a long and a lasting, like I would say, the cash flow or income?
Well, again, try to put away some money for savings for the long term. If you're lucky enough to have some money to invest, don't put it all in one thing. You need to diversify.
Investment?
Diversify your investments, yes.
Any high quality investment strategies you want to share with us?
No, not really, because I don't claim to have any particular insight on that, other than stressing the importance of diversification.
How many years you've been working in this industry?
About 12 years.
12 years.
Financial services generally has been most of my career, so that's more like about 30 years.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
What is the biggest lesson you ever learned from like your industry, from your career?
Work hard, be determined to deal with the challenges that you come up against, be loyal to your company and your boss. You have to recognize that over your career, the likelihood is that you will face some enormous challenges from time to time, and you have to have some self-confidence and determination to deal with those challenges. And of course, hopefully you might have some colleagues or network who can support you. When I say support you maybe with a little bit of advice or just kind of emotional support by helping you sort of unload your stress. I mean, financial services can be a stressful industry to work in.
Thank you. And do you want to share some suggestions to me? Because I am making my social media account and I want to learn more about finance, and actually I'm doing my business online. It's more about promoting some videos on my channel and trying to spread something that is worthy, something that is useful for my followers, to my viewers. So do you have any suggestions to me, like on finance or on business?
Okay. Well, first of all, I would say that I'm not an expert on social media. Like a lot of people in my generation, we're not very well clued up on social media. But I would suggest that if you want to use your channel to address financial topics, then I think you should try to focus on basic principles of common sense. Yeah, like I said, the important thing in investment, one of the golden rules is to diversify. And I would hope that if you focus on those kind of basic principles, which I think to a large extent are common sense, hopefully that will ring true with people, and your audience, I hope, would appreciate that.
Do you mind sharing like one of the most useful, like you said, the common sense, the knowledge you want to share with my followers?
Well, apart from diversification, I think you try to keep things relatively simple. As a private individual, you're unlikely to have the ability, for example, to profitably trade stocks like day trading. People can get excited about that kind of thing, but the chances are they're going to lose, because if you're trying to trade stocks on a regular basis, you're effectively saying that you can compete with all these big institutions that have huge amounts of resources, technology and expertise.
Yes.
As a private individual, are you going to be able to beat them? Chances are.
And what about the funds?
Funds can be a very good thing. They give you a little bit of diversification within the fund itself. And if you're interested in putting some money into funds, you just need to make sure that you find a very reputable fund management company.
Find your like a bank manager maybe?
And maybe your bank can help you choose, yes. Yeah.
How would you define the high quality assets, especially in this current situation? Real estate?
Real estate?
Real estate, yes.
Yeah, possibly. But if you invest directly into real estate, you're investing into something which isn't very liquid, meaning that if you need the money and all your money is tied up in maybe one or two apartments, you just need a little bit of money out. What are you going to do? You maybe need to sell one of those apartments, which might be more money than you need, and it may not be the right timing for the market. But if you're interested in real estate, normally there are more sort of indirect ways to invest.
Like?
Well, in the market where I live in Hong Kong, and I used to live in Singapore. Those markets have what we call real estate investment trusts, where you're not directly putting money into a property, you're putting money into a trust. And that trust will itself have quite a diversified portfolio, normally of commercial property, not residential, it's normally commercial property.
So what is the biggest difference between Hong Kong and Shanghai, like as a financial server or working in the finance industry? What do you think is the biggest difference between Hong Kong and Shanghai?
Well, in terms of potential, honestly, I'm not sure that I could reliably pinpoint a big difference. Here in Shanghai, I guess the financial system is still developing, but developing very quickly. It's nice to see when I come to Shanghai a lot of young people working in the financial services industry. In Hong Kong, it's a little bit more mature, I guess. Both have their advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons, yeah.
So as an individual who is not really familiar with finance, right, how we can deal with, or any plans about finance or any strategies about finance you want to share with the people who are facing to like unexpected, for example, medical emergencies?
I see.
Or the people who are changing their jobs?
Well, for emergencies, medical emergencies, I think the main answer there is to make sure you've got some adequate health insurance. Changing jobs, well, I mean, you just got to take a lot of care over what job you want to change to. We have an expression in English, and I imagine there's probably an equivalent expression in Chinese. Very often the grass looks greener on the other side of the fence, meaning that another opportunity looks good, but it doesn't always mean it's good in reality. So if people are thinking of changing job, they're going to need to do their research pretty well into the company they're thinking of moving to.
Really, really smart. I would say thank you for words and
Pleasure.
Experience. Thank you for sharing. Do you mind telling me like what's your name?
It's Andrew.
Andrew. I'm
Yes.
Jackson. Nice to meet you, Mr.
Jackson,
Mr.
very
Andrew.
nice to meet
Mr.
you
Andrew.
as well.
Do you have Instagram or Facebook or any social media? Do you mind?
No,
Thank you for your words, because I can feel that the majority of the younger generation can feel a lot of inspiration and wisdom from your speech, from your words.
I hope so.
Really, I really appreciate it.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
So.